Welcome, everyone. It's me, Pete. Wine and three. We're back on. Wow, he is just waiting for me now. Look at this. Perfect. Let's get him in. And Emmanuel is quick on the draw lately. Emmanuel, get him in. Emmanuel?
Yes. Hey,
There.
Pete. We
How are
got.
you?
There we are. What's going on?
I am still playing with my setup, as you can tell.
Yeah, I'm sort of doing that as well.
Yeah, actually, look at that. You got a little lighting there, I think you got going on.
Does that look all right?
Yeah, yeah, it looks
Good.
good. Looks very good.
Cool.
Yeah, I got my my Bluetooth now in here. How about that?
Well, that makes two of us. That makes two of us. We got this technology uh,
Yeah,
to our favor.
we're moving into the 90s, right? The 2000s.
Oh no, yeah, right. We're this is the new frontier.
Yes, awesome. Well, you picked some beauties here. I have more
Nice.
visual. More visual than narrative, but definitely some interesting wine. Good job so far. I'm already impressed. I haven't even even tasted them yet. I've started them coming into the glass, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. I mean, these are both wines that I'm very familiar with. And we'll jump into the program.
yes, great. All right, perfect. Well, 6:30. Keep an eye on for me for the time. 45 minutes is probably where I need to cut off, just so you know.
Sure
I don't
thing.
have my watch on me. All right. Well, welcome everybody. I am Pete. I am founder of Great American Nosh, where we live by the mantra: eat, drink, and savor. We do food instruction, food cooking demonstrations. We also do wine education appreciation, and this is part of our programming. I have with me Emmanuel Montemecco, my trusted wine guy. He, every 2 weeks, picks two wines for us to try. Some of these wines he has not tried before, but he's obviously done his research and talked to the people that have tried them. And then there's other wines where he loves, and he obviously wants to share those with us. So if you notice behind my shoulder, you see a couple of those bottles, and one of them is Mysterial and Thousand Lives, and those are the wines that Emmanuel got me hooked on. So we can't seem to shake those. Very good wines. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
Um, so we just let you know on kind of our programming here. The wine and three basically three topics. Wine, region, variety, the winemaker, other topics. We go beyond three. We geek out as well. But really, we focus a lot on finding really good wine value, stuff below $25 a bottle, from regions where you may not know about them that much. Everybody knows about France and Napa and Sonoma. Um, but there's a lot of other regions on the globe that have really come to the forefront in terms of great wines. Um, and we have decided, and Emmanuel has decided to, and I love this region too, but Emmanuel has decided to wander into Paso Robles. Um,
That's right.
and yeah, that's right. Thank you very much.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
do a brief intro on Paso, and then I'll let you jump in. So, if anyone's not doesn't know where Paso Robles is, I have a little handy dandy map, and if you noticed, I have a little arrow, and that is in between Los Angeles and San Francisco. It's about northeast of San Luis Obispo, and it is an AVA that started in 1983 and has since split off into 11 different sub areas. So I have some nice visuals too. All right, so first we got this pretty little view of Paso Robles. Wouldn't you want to be sipping wine on that, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh,
That looks
majestic,
great.
majestic.
Yes. And then here is what they have this broken out into. You see all these little AVAs? That is Paso Robles. There is a lot, and you can see it's off the Pacific Ocean. So definitely some influences off the mountains and off the ocean. Um, And there's about 200 plus wineries in Paso Robles. The rainfall does vary, but I think it goes from 30 inches a year to a little bit less than that. Elevations are running from 700 to 2,400 feet, and various soils. And they were originally kind of known before they really exploded as an Zinfandel area. Now there's a whole bunch of other wine varieties in the region that are grown, and I'm talking Roan varieties. Actually, some Spanish varieties are grown as well. So there is a lot going on here. And I'm going to take a break, and Emmanuel will probably fill in a lot more on Paso Robles because I definitely didn't cover everything. So,
All right. Thanks, Pete, for that intro. So, all right. So Paso Robles wines have caught on in the last probably, I don't know, 5 to 7 years now, where they're a popular varietal Cabernet Sauvignon. And the thing being is, underneath Napa, as you showed in the south there, I put a little graphic up on my story on Instagram. Wow. Yeah, so people could see that as well. But so the fruit is very lush. You get a nice body to the wines, to the Cabernets. Though today we're going to spotlight blends from Paso Robles, which is a little less common. As far as going back to just the allure of Paso Robles is because you can get some really nice wines that are inexpensive, and kind of rivaling Napa in a way. Everyone talks about Napa Valley, the AVAs around Napa, Stag's Leap, as far as Howell Mountain, Spring Mountain. Now, grapefruit, but you're gonna pay a good amount. We're talking some wines that are very expensive.
Yeah, you're talking 40 or 50 a bottle now.
At least. At least. Stag's Leap might even fetch 60 to 70 and upwards to 100. But once again, as I said, the Paso Robles area has kind of caught on for like some really nice lush fruit that has a really good. It jumps right on the palate. Nice finish wines. Today we're going to feature the two blends from Paso Robles, and it's a hot area right now. It's been a hot area, as I said, for several years. So this is giving alternatives to some Napa wines, because Napa wines you'll spend the money, and this is kind of it's about 200 miles down under, as I put on the Instagram post. I kind of so it's a great little area. And
sure. San Luis Obispo, if anyone's been there, it's just anywhere on that Big Sur area is beautiful. San Luis Obispo is really a nice place. It really is.
Right, to give people ideas, like Justin is a well-known wine. Cabernet comes from Paso Robles. You got a lower price point in J. Lore. That also comes from Paso Robles.
Okay.
We did feature in the program, if you remember a while ago, the Crimson Ranch Reserve. Excuse me, the Carson Ridge Reserve.
Carson Ridge, that's right. We did have a Paso in there. I remember
Paso Robles.
Yes. Yeah, that was seems like years ago.
Yeah, that was several months ago.
Yeah,
but
well, with COVID, it's COVID time is like double.
Yeah, exactly. We feel like we've been in a cave,
I know. Exactly.
But we're gonna push on through.
All right. Well, awesome. Well, thank you very much. So let's talk about the two wineries that we're going to be featuring. Which one would you like to start with first, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, let's excuse me. Let's get in right into the Double Black.
Double Black. Yes. Here we go. Here we go.
And notice the label. Notice the label here, because we'll move on to the next wine, and I want people to understand the different comparisons and contrast. The contrast with the labeling,
right? Yeah, the marketing.
Yes, the marketing. Right, exactly.
Now look at this thing. Now, if you are a Grateful Dead fan, this is going to definitely allure to you.
Oh yeah, the Dead. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what jumped out at me when I saw the label. I'm like, wait a minute, that looks like one of their icon skeletons there.
Okay. I was thinking
Yeah.
more Dia de los Muertos.
Well, there you
Little Dia
go.
de los Muertos. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's got
Definitely
it's got
that.
that imagery. It's got that imagery.
It does have the imagery. It is, and interesting. When I was trying to research this wine in particular, it's actually not on their website. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to be, having, not having any tasting notes, which is great. Because it's sort of a blind tasting for me. I know the blend, but that's about it. It's perfect. I love that. So let's talk about Chronic Cellars, right? So this is the first one, that Chronic Cellars, right? Um, so I think they were started in 2004.
Yeah, they haven't been around that long. They haven't been
Yeah,
around that long.
yeah, and these are the two gentlemen. This is Josh and Jake Beckett.
That's right.
Um, they are, again, there's always some characters in the wine industry, and these two are definitely into it. And they have a nice winemaker here named, I think, Kip Lorenzetti. He's the one responsible for this wine. Let me took that down too fast. Um, and they are a interesting crew. They, besides that label you saw, they have all kinds of different labels, kind of in that similar style, illustrations with the skeletons and different versions of the skeletons. Um, they have about 18 reds that they feature. They have one rosé, two whites, and a dessert wine. So clearly they are into the reds.
Oh, for
And
sure.
I think these two gentlemen were really into Zinfandel a while ago before they got here, but I'm not quite sure. I couldn't find too much on them. Um, what more can you tell me about Chronic? So,
All right. Well, it's a clever name. Obviously, we talked about the marketing. Josh and Jake Beckett. You already said that piece. The winemaker, Kip Lorenzetti. I think he's kind of a little bit of a rock and roll kind of wine blender.
yeah.
Um, he's been around for several years. He's got a little bit of a repertoire. Um, I think they have a really good partnership together now. Chronic, it's kind of a cool name, and they name it Chronic, basically because they're great grapes, and as they put it on the website, you check the website out, it says they're killer wines.
All the
So
time. Like the
you
grape
know,
quality is Chronic, yeah, they call it, I think, is how they got to that. It's like it's always great quality of the grapes that they
yeah, it's like the
use.
primo stuff. Now, obviously, there's the innuendo of we're talking reefer, obviously. So there's the innuendo there. They're calling it the chronic. I think one of
You're a little
Doctor
bit
one of
more up to
Doctor.
date on that than I am.
Well, I just pay attention to music. One of Dr. Dre's most prolific albums. But in any case,
Sure.
the point being is that I think they're trying to appeal to millennials a little bit.
Yeah.
They kind of that's I think that's their angle. Yes, but I've been hearing really good things about it. I heard about their Zinfandel, which is called Purple Paradise.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I've run across that.
Yeah, well, I think with the well, not just the name, but the labeling. I mean, I think the labeling again for me, it drew my attention. It's just it's colorful. It pops at you.
Sure.
Again, Grateful Dead fans are obviously far ranging in terms of ages, but really anybody over 40, clearly a little bit, it's really going to hit them like that. Like, oh, that looks like the Grateful Dead, like, so.
Yeah, it can have that appeal. Yeah, for sure, Pete.
Yeah.
I think the labels are kind of cool. And I mean, they'd be great for like certain parties. I know like maybe like a Halloween party.
There you go.
I saw, like I said, as Dia de los Muertos, but it's kind of a festive label. Spring is here now, so it's kind of that's why I kind of wanted to present it and put it out there to the audience,
Oh yeah, I love it. I like the choice. I really do. I love reading about some of these winemakers and where they start and how long they've been doing it. Some of these winemakers, well, not winemakers, winery owners they're winemakers themselves, or they do have other people that they bring in. And clearly they're into the reds. So it looks like Kip is put out some great stuff. I mean, I'm already impressed. The website was really well done. There was a lot of information out there on these guys. So that's great. So let's shift gears to the double black.
But just backing up 1 minute. Sorry, Pete. Because I think we want to put out the blend in itself for that Chronic Cellars.
I didn't get into. Yeah, I was going to hold off, but go ahead.
Okay. Well,
no.
It's got 5 grapes. Now it's kind of a Roan style wine, right? But it's got a bit of a Tannat. And what else we got in there?
We have Syrah, Petit Syrah.
The Petit Syrah. The Petit Syrah and Tannat. So we've already uncovered some wines that have Tannat. Remember the Paisano brothers?
The Paisano,
did that
Tannat. That's right. And you're right about the Roan mix. So, folks, if you don't know what a Roan is, Roan mix is typically Grenache, Mourvèdre, and Syrah, or GSM. Yeah, Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvèdre.
That's right.
Yep, GSM. So, and in this case, they added Petit Syrah and Tannat to it. Now, Tannat is only about 4% of this blend, so
it's very minuscule. Yeah.
It's going to be minuscule. Anything over 10%, folks, is where you're actually going to get a little bit of that characteristic of that grape when it comes through. And then Petit Syrah is probably the wild card here. So I'm interested to see how this affects this wine. So.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, with the previous program, we had our Dave Finney, right? We had that wine España location, which had 5 grapes as well, remember?
Yeah, that was the kitchen sink mix. I told you. I think I put that down. It was the kitchen sink. He had everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And the what was the other one? Mythique was the other one? No, that wasn't it.
No. We did.
I know. I got it.
You got it there.
I think I got it. Let me see where we got it. Oh, for goodness sakes! I had it. Oh, it was the Terra Alta, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Terra Alta. Yeah, it was.
The Almoldi, the Petit Almoldi. Yeah, that was a little. We weren't sure about that one.
Yeah, we weren't sure about that one. That had a lot of different mix into it themselves too. It was like an interesting blend. We were unsure on that one. That one we definitely the E was of note for us. I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, it was approachable, drinkable. It was, but in any case, let's move forward then with the other one, the double black.
Yep. And these guys are into skiing, so
yes, they are.
Double black. They're in San Miguel. It's actually the Castoro Cellars is the wine owners. They are, I guess, focused on this wine is really Cabernet and Primitivo, which is a Zinfandel.
Yes, exactly.
They have multiple vineyards. Here's one of their shots of one of their vineyards, which is unbelievable. I love that. That's gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Oh, I love these pictures. These images are great. And then this is just a vineyard plot of one of their double black vineyards. You can see that they just have everything kind of laid out. And the owners are a husband and wife team. I'm going to mess up the name, but Niels and is it Bimmer or Beamer? I always say Beamer, but is it Bimmer?
I think it's Bimmer.
Bimmer, yeah. Niels and Bimmer Hudson. They started this in 1983, so here they are. Nice couple. And I guess Niels went to school in Cal Polytech in St. Louis Obispo. And he kind of really got into the wine industry that way. And they brought on a couple of winemakers. I think Mr. Tom Myers is the one responsible for today's wine. And I think they brought on Janice. I didn't get her last name, but it's Janice. So she's got a dog. She's a dog person, by the way. And they have about 14 wines and about 1,400 acres. So they're not schlouts either. They're doing their stuff. They have a lot to offer. Not as much as Chronic. Chronic's got a lot, but anyway, is there anything else I missed on Double Black?
No, I mean, as well, the Zinfandel is good. It's very good actually, and they had a cab which I just had in a meeting about 3 weeks ago.
That was the
that
bottle I grabbed by
I guess I
mistake,
saw
right?
in it
That was the one.
because yeah, the cab was very good. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I guess it fell under the radar a little bit, but it sells pretty well.
yeah,
It sells
yeah.
pretty well, that cab. It's pretty
Well,
popular.
if you notice, this label is, it's pretty straightforward, no messing around. The Cabernet label, folks, this is the red blend one, obviously, but the Cabernet one is pretty similar. I think it only really had like maybe like a red border around the diamonds, and maybe
Uh-huh. Yeah,
a border around here, and that was it. So that's easy. It was easy for me to mess that up. So, but I'm very interested. These I like the background of both of these wines. And then I know we're gonna jump into the tasting of this whole thing, but
sure.
pouring them into the glass they were very, very dark. Very inviting. Like really, you could tell they were rich and had a full of body just by looking at them. I didn't even smell it or tasted them yet, so I think we're in for a treat.
I think so. I hope so.
After the past couple times, we've had a few stinkers in there, but that's what wine's all about, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's trial and error. Trial and error.
all right. So, which one shall we go with first? I'll let you pick.
Let's do the double black. The double black,
Double
yeah.
black. All right. So we get the double black. This is really deep. It is totally opaque. Really, not much off the edge. You always look for the age in terms of like how far that color goes to the edge of your wine.
Oh yeah.
And folks, just so you know, what I'm doing right now is I have this like white piece of paper, and basically what I'm trying to do is I use that as the background for my wine when I look at it, and I'm just really just trying to see how deep dark that color is. If it's starting to turn a little brown, obviously it's aged wine. This is obviously a young wine. You could tell it's all the colors all the way up to the edge. When the color starts pulling back, that's when you start seeing some changes, and obviously the age is where you can tell as well. And then when it's opaque like this, it's a very, very full body wine. We've seen some wines, Emmanuel and I have, where it's been rather thin, and you could actually see around back to the paper. so okay, all right. Well, let me see if I got my swirling down these days. Yep.
Swirling, yeah.
Swirling. Wow, that is a nice aroma. Definitely got the earthy smell.
Yeah, a little clay.
A little clay. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not kitty litter. It's not kitty litter clay. This is just clay.
I'm expecting some blackberry, a little blackberry.
Yeah, it's definitely black fruit, big time black fruit.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a blackberry, no doubt.
Yep, black. I think I'm gonna go with you on the blackberry. It's not sweet enough to smell like a plum per se.
No, blackberry. And blackberries are often something that with the aromatics you're gonna get in a blend. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You get the darker fruit.
We don't even know we don't know the blend of this, do we?
We don't. I suspect as far as there's Merlot in there, it's going to be Cab, obviously, but it's going to be some Merlot. I don't think it's not going to be as many grapes as the Chronic.
Yeah.
We didn't even say the name of the Chronic cellar product, did we? Did you say the name of it?
No, we can get back. We can get to
Okay, all right. Okay.
There's so much data we can share. It's just we only have so much time, right? So
that's right. That's right.
All right. So yep, clay, black fruit.
Yeah.
I'm not getting much for spice here.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't have much for herbaceous, like any vegetal. Maybe a little grass. I don't know. Tiny bit. Not much.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Like I say, the clay, the blackberry.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm staying with.
Yeah, and those aromas have a tendency to dominate too. They're not.
Right.
They're not like very elegant aromas. They're whoosh. They're in your nose. We always try to smell on the bottom rim and then go up to the top. The top is where you're going to get more of the floral, if there is any. Yeah, I'm still coming up with what we got before. All right, well,
All right,
we'll go back to that. Let's take a dive.
let's do it.
Mm, all right. I know this is not a technical term, but that's yummy. There's
It's nice. It's nice. I was
it's nice.
definitely the blackberry though, right? You taste blackberry, Pete?
Yep, I do. Blackberry. Yeah,
I think, maybe there's too much snobbery here with me, but the finish is not kind of what I expected.
well, I think the tannins are, medium level tannins. They're not grippy.
Yeah.
They're not in your face. They're not prickling my tongue. Um, the acidity is I think the acidity is well balanced here.
So it's interesting you said grippy
Grippy.
because I read a little narrative on this one on the double black, and it stated grippy, that it was a grippy sort of,
Yeah.
if,
I,
you know
the
finish.
thing was, whenever I use because I always go back to the in vitro, which is a super Tuscan that you recommended, and
Right.
it's a big seller, right?
Sangiovese, the Sangiovese
Yep,
Cabernet Merlot, right? Blend, yeah.
yep, exactly,
Italian.
and yep, and those are grippy tannins. Those are like, woo, like really
Yes,
grabs
yes.
your tongue. Here, it's not as grippy. It's a milder tannin. I think it's because of its age. I think it's still a little there, but it's not as rounded as it would be if it was aged a little bit more. But still,
Hmm.
definitely enjoyable. The finish, I don't know. It's not even a medium finish. It's sort of a short medium finish, I guess.
Yeah, short
It's
and fades quick.
Yeah, but it doesn't drop off. We've had wines where it just drops. There's nothing, on the back
Yeah,
end.
no, no, absolutely. It has a finish, and it's kind of it's there, and then it just kind of disappears a little bit. But it's nice.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, very drinkable. I
I
mean,
like that. I do like that. I think the tannins make it. I actually like it.
cool.
You're right. There's no long finish. Folks. Emmanuel always talks about where wine goes, right? What's the story it tells? And when you're drinking wine, you really want that front end. There's a middle and then the end. Like a full story. And we really want the whole complete story to be there. You want the front, middle, and the back. We've had wines where there's been no up front at all, where you have no aroma, nothing, and then it's all big in your mouth. And then we've had ones where the finish just gone, disappears. There's nothing. And then there's some wines that don't have
Exactly.
a middle. There's no middle. There's like a little prickly sensation up front, but then nothing in the middle, and then maybe a little alcohol on the back end. But I think this one's I think it's well balanced, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I mean, I like it as well.
Yeah.
I guess it's just because I had hopes for it because when I had the cab, and the cab
Mm-hmm.
is sub 15. The
Mm-hmm.
cab it's a very good cab. It's got good juice, nice balance, nice finish.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Oh,
expect
yeah.
a little bit more from this one. This is very good still, but um, if folks wanted to get into other wines by this producer, the double black here, if you like cabs, you should try the Paso Robles cab.
Yeah, I think I will. I would love to see what that is. I would love to see the
Hmm.
blend on this because
Hmm.
I'm thinking there's infidel in here, because it's got some of the characteristics of the Zinfandel body. It's got that medium. It's not
Okay.
full body, but it's
Yeah.
medium body.
Yeah.
It's definitely not light. I'll tell you that.
No, it's not light, but here we are going into spring. This is a good spring wine, I think. You know,
Mhm.
it's not heavy. Uh,
But
it
definitely good with a steak. This would go well with
Yeah,
a
it go
steak.
with a piece of steak, no doubt.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um,
I think it would dominate pork, though. I don't know if it would go well with pork. I think it might 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 be too much for pork, but
yeah, I'm
who
agreeing with
knows?
you there. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow. I mean, and I know the alcohol level. The alcohol level is about 14
14.3.
change. Yep, which is not bad.
I got these two. Yeah, I got the two wines at this point at 14.3. At that
Was that on
alcohol.
purpose? Was that on
Yeah,
purpose?
yeah, it was on purpose. Sure.
Oh,
Same,
okay.
same vintage, same, ABV.
Yep.
Um,
Okay.
so
Mm. All right. Well, that was a good one. I actually like that one.
okay, cool. I'm glad.
Now let's go with the chronic.
Yeah, the chronic.
Oh, a chronic.
There we
Oh,
go.
this one's a little bit more deeper color. Yeah, I mean, that color almost goes right to the rim.
Uh-huh.
I wish I could show people that. One of these days, I'm going to get an overhead camera to show what I'm looking at. But the color goes all the way to the rim of the wine. Obviously, it's young, folks. Oh yeah, and by the way, we forgot to mention the name of this one is called Sofa King Bueno.
Sofa King Bueno.
Okay, so my Spanish, I know Bueno's good, but I don't know if Sofa King, they're just mixing English with Spanish here. I have no idea, but
yeah,
I don't know what it means.
yeah, they're just being silly. You know what I mean?
It's being silly. Okay, good. All right.
I think it's kind of they're just having fun.
Yeah,
They're just
having
having
a little fun.
It's a cool label. I mean, Halloween party, it will do well with. If you're into a motif, it will do well with. Once again,
you know what? This is a label that I would put in a frame, and hang over my shoulder. It's really cool. I actually like it.
I think it's pretty interesting. It's kind of it's very attractive for sure. Yeah. And like we stay away from that honestly with our program typically.
That's true. No, you're right. We do, and we try to attack label bias, right? So we
exactly
say don't just buy it because of the label, but you're right. Here's the thing: the wine has to back up the label, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely.
The issues that I have is when the boring wine, they have a boring label, boring design, and the wine's awesome, but then you're like, well, who's ever going to find out about it? Because somebody's not very big, the uneducated consumer is going to just grab this instead of the double black. So, maybe
exactly. It's gonna be eye catching. Absolutely. It will be. I don't know how
we know it's a double-edged sword, right? So you're like,
exactly.
It's like you should have a decent label, but then again, we attack label bias where you're like, you shouldn't buy by label, but it should have some attraction to it, where it's like, and I like the double. Well, the thing that I like about the double black is, I ski, so for me, it's like, oh, okay, double black diamonds, that's fine, pretty straightforward. But for others, they may not be allured to it, right? So it's
so wine for skiers, right? That double black. This is I just came up with some here. This is we're gonna find out. This is wine for snowboarders because I'm a snowboarder. So how do you like that?
How do you like that? We're learning stuff about
the skiing community. How do you like that?
It's a border. Not allowed on the mountain anymore. Come on. All right. All right. Let me take my my schnoz in here and see what we got. This looks really good, though. It looks much darker than the other one. Deep, dark ruby color. Wow, it's got, well, it's more than clay. I'm trying to figure out. This is more like potting soil, but
I don't get blackberry though. I don't get any blackberry, fruit really.
I'm not getting. Well, I get mint.
Mint? Maybe.
Yeah, it's more of a mint eucalyptus actually.
Eucalyptus?
I might go with eucalyptus actually because it's got that menthol thing going.
I actually cheated, and this is the only wine since our programming days here that I looked up in Vivino.
Okay.
Just to see what people had to say about it, because I had heard about it a couple of years ago. But I'll tell you later what was said.
All right. Well, I got eucalyptus. I don't really get much for fruit. No floral. No.
Yeah, nor do I.
If it is, it's going to be more of a dried fruit, something dried.
Uh-huh.
A little bit less, like a muted fruit. I'm trying to think. Well, it's not raisin. Maybe a date. You know, maybe
Date,
well,
huh?
fruitcake's kind of too much on that, but
Fruitcake.
yeah, I'm thinking of a dried fruit. I can't pick it up. Yeah, I'm stumped.
Like you're saying, what, dried raisin? Like,
Yeah, maybe a dried raisin.
mhm.
Um, yeah, I just caught it. Oh, yeah, I just caught the dried raisin. That's in.
Okay.
I don't know. What are you catching? Don't tell me what you found out. Tell me what you're catching.
Honestly, I mean, I get clay, maybe that potting soil. I don't get a lot of fruit, to be straight up with
Yeah.
you. I
Are
really
you
don't.
getting
I would
any?
just
You getting eucalyptus or mint, like a menthol thing, or
slight little, maybe a eucalyptus, slight, if you really take in the aromatics. But the previous wine, the black, double black,
yep.
had a lot more to offer in the aromatics.
It definitely did. You're right. That definitely had more of a more interesting aroma. This one, yeah, earth, really just earth and spice for me is kind of the two major categories. And you would expect some black fruit, to come through.
Yeah, you would
Because
think,
I
but
mean, with this blend, and also with the Syrah, you'd expect some spice, like pepper almost, because Syrah's got a little bit of a peppery thing going here, and I don't
yes,
really catch any
yes,
pepper.
I don't either.
No, no pepper. Yeah, no vegetal smells, no herbaceous stuff, no citrus, no tree fruit, tropical fruit, red fruit, none of that.
Oh, you could go through the gamut. Yeah, I don't get any fruit.
No. And if it is, it's a dried fruit of some type. Raisin
Right.
might be a push. It's a push on raisin. That's interesting. Wow. All right. Well, we stumped that one. We surrounded that one, Emmanuel.
That's
I
it,
don't know
Pete.
what
I don't
surrounded
know.
nothing, but
Well, there's the next step here. So
yep. All right. Let's take a
the
nice sip.
important one, the important one.
Yes. Mm, wow. That's you know what? I'm going to call it chewy. It's chewy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I feel like I'm eating a dinner on that one. No finish at all. None.
No,
Zippo.
no.
Wow. There's not, it's all on the front end. It's really,
Yeah, it is. Now, I really had hopes for this one. I did. You know what I mean? I really thought that this was going to be something interesting.
yeah, all front and middle. Tannins are a little bit different than the double black. Um, it's just, like I said, chewy. Just, you feel like you can chew it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Chewy, yeah.
Wow. I'm a, I wouldn't say disappointed. I just say I'm a little surprised. I thought it would deliver a little bit more punch. Again,
That's
the
what
label,
yeah. Exactly. I thought that as well. I mean, this is
folks. You're like, that's where the alert. This is where we talk about label bias. It's like, even though I love this label, folks, just get me wrong. I love this label. I would love to put this in a little frame, have it behind my head. Um, but the wine is not delivering on this great label. It's just not. And again, wine value. This is sub 25, so both of them are sub 25. So, even so, it's like, I don't know. It's not not as good as that double black.
yeah, I think the double black, I mean, I'm assuming it's got three grapes at most. Probably just
Yeah,
it's probably Cab Merlot, because you definitely get a little Merlot in there, don't you? In the double black.
I do. Yeah, I think that's what's
So
it's blending down. It's blending down either the Zinfandel or the Cab in there. I think there's Cabs in Merlot. I think in that. Um, it's not a complex wine. I think you're right. I think there's three grapes in there. And I think from what I read is do a lot of Cab, and they have a lot of planted Cabernet and Primitiva, which is Infidel.
Right. You were saying earlier. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they probably use the Merlot to kind of calm it down. Take some of the edge off of the Cab, because you're right. It's a warm climate, right? So you want to take the edge off the Zinfandel and the Cabernet. So, wow,
yeah.
My goodness. We got to get Gabrielle tasting this stuff too. I bet she'd be like, "What is this?" You know?
Well, the thing about Gabrielle, if she was here, she'd say it. She pretty much drinks any wine that I put in front of her. So it's there's really there's no discretion or discrimination.
Yeah.
But she does prefer the whites.
My wife is a discerning drinker. She's becoming a more discerning drinker, and she immediately tells me right off the bat what she likes or doesn't like.
Okay, there you go, Gail.
She doesn't sip as much as I do. I sip a lot. I really like to sip these wines and enjoy them. She tendency wants to, but she doesn't really drink a lot. She'll have like one, and that's enough, which is fine. Man, I am. What's the term? Vexed. Flummoxed.
Annoyed.
I don't know about annoyed. Annoyed's maybe too harsh.
I'm a little annoyed, honestly.
You're
because
annoyed, right?
I really thought the blend. I mean, like I said, I heard about it a couple years ago. I heard some good things from people that in the industry. They pointed it out to me. I was paying attention for it, and then I was like, okay, let's just put it on the show because it's got a cool label. Maybe it's not as timely. I was thinking more spring-like because the colors are pretty vibrant. And you made the Grateful Dead reference, which I think was cool. And I just thought it'd be a fun wine that it would drink well, But I'm a little, like I say, annoyed. I think the Double Black was a good wine. If we were being competitive on this show, I would say the Double Black I liked a bit more, or a lot more, really.
I like the Double Black a lot more. I mean, it doesn't have as dark of a color as the Chronic, but the aroma is there, the fruit is there. It's got that tannin. It's got a nice front, middle, and back. I mean, the back's not as long as I would prefer, but
right.
You know what? At least there's a finish. There's some lingering. It's not a lot. It's not a complex wine, but you know what? It's not bad. I mean, not bad. It's not right. I would say it's good. I actually like it. I think I'm in love with the tannin on this. I really like it. I think.
I hear that. I mean, as I said earlier, the Double Blacks, they have a good zin. The Cab was really, I thought the Cab was like $13. I think it really hit it out of the park. I mean, for a Paso Robles Cab, if, like I mentioned earlier, like a Justin, I think it could match up to a Justin Cabernet.
All right. I'll have to test that theory of yours.
Test it out on the Cab. I'm gonna
have to go back and grab the Cab because I like I said, I had that in the bin and I grabbed the wrong one. But I'm gonna have to go back because I actually like this wine. I really do. I like it. I think I think it has a lot of great elements that we look for in wine. The aroma is nice. You got a little bit of fruit. You got a little bit of earth. Color's really beautiful. It's not too high in alcohol. And I think it's going to match well with any kind of heavier proteins. Won't do well with pork, but definitely beef. Maybe it'll hold up to lamb. I think lamb's a little gamey, so I think be good on the lamb side. But we go with a good brisket. I think would be a great.
Oh, a brisket, huh?
Brisket, yeah, that's beefy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm good. Good. That was a good choice. I like that. Yeah, you're right. I'm not annoyed with Chronic, but I'm vexed. Like, why couldn't you have been any better? Yeah.
Well, I just didn't want it to be kind of gimmicky because I read the reviews. They were really good reviews. They got like 3.8 stars. They did mention a little bit of mint. They said the wines were well crafted. people like them. I think that maybe vintage to vintage might have shifted. Maybe the previous vintage was a bit better. Sometimes, folks, we haven't really talked about that a lot.
No, we haven't. We
The
haven't done a
vintages,
lot of verticals. Yeah, we haven't done.
right?
As you mentioned, and it's really hard to find multiple vintages of the same brand in a store. It really is. And if you do, you're lucky. For the most part, they rotate through that one vintage and then they move on to the next. So that's one thing we haven't discussed is the vagaries with the growing seasons. They could have changed winemakers. They could have changed barrels. There's so many variables. Vintage to vintage. You're right. It could have been a different vintage in 17 or 16. So
Exactly.
yeah, this is an 18, right?
Yes, they're both 18s. Because I know the 16 got good reviews for the Sofa King Bueno, the Chronic Cellars product.
Yeah.
Got really good reviews.
Yeah. Well, I think we busted through that one. My goodness. All right. Well, how are we doing on time? Because I have to.
Yes. I was just about to say we're at the 45-minute mark. We got about 2 minutes left.
All right. Well, there wasn't much to geek out about these. We've already talked to death on these labels, but these bottles are both the same. Really close enough to being the same. Nothing remarkable. The punts are, mid-level punts. These are the indentations on the bottom. The Chronic Cellar had an interesting cork, but it was really just their name.
It's got their information now. The double black does not. It's just bare. It's just a blank cork.
There's a bare cork, right? So
simple. They didn't spend any money on that. Yeah, exactly. But it's a good little wine. We're discovering it's a good little wine.
It is a good little wine. I actually like it. I really do. Chronic.
So it's a 50-50. 50-50 tonight.
That's right. That's true. It is a 50-50. We've had a few 50-50s. That's fine. That's part of the exploration of wine. That actually makes it fun. It's always good to try this. And also, if they come out with a 19, I'm going to try it. Just to see what this comes out to be, because who knows? It's also I'm drinking this as a standalone. I haven't even paired it with anything to eat. So
right. That's a question right there. That's a question mark for sure.
With this, it's without the, without the tannins like the other one. Would a beef dish go really well with it? And if it does, well. It would be doable, but it's not something I would be normally drinking as a standalone. So, and that's the big difference of people need to understand is like there's standalone wines and there's really wines that go really well with food.
Right.
And really you have to figure out how you want to be drinking them. I think the Romanian wine that you introduced me on, the Rakash.
Yeah.
Rakash, yep. The Niagara. That is a great standalone drink.
Yeah, and it's wine. What, $6, right? What are we there? $6-7?
And I always like with those wines, it's like I always try to find something wrong with them, and I still haven't, and I really enjoy them. And it's like, well, if you like it, keep drinking it. It's great. I mean, over my shoulder is the 1,000 Lives. That's a Chardonnay from Argentina. Again, $6-7. It's great. I love it. It's our house Chardonnay right now, and we're going to continue to drink it until we get sick of it. But again, these wines, there's some nice surprises to see these wines. Again, the double black I think is a surprise for me. I actually like it. I really do. I'm going to have to go try their Cabernet though. So
all right. So the skiers have prevailed. The snowboarders took a digger.
Well, as a skier myself and as somebody who's tried snowboarding, I would say snowboarders are prone to much traumatic falls than skiers.
Well, there's a little a sense of you have to be careful a little bit. You're out there, but
you have both legs locked into one board.
I like that. And
then with skis, you got two different legs, hooked into two different boards.
Doing different things. That's
right. Two different things. But when you fall with a snowboard, and oh boy, it's
I only fall gracefully though, Pete. I only fall gracefully. Okay.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much. Folks, we tried the Chronic Cellars, Sofa King Bueno, and then the Double Black, both Paso Robles red blends. Again, this isn't really a competition, but we always try to focus on these wines, sub 25 and under. And we've really, Emmanuel and I really have gravitated to this Double Black, and he's already tried the Cabernet. I'm going to try the Cabernet now. I think there's something here to this Double Black, and I really like it. We focus a lot on the winemakers too, behind the scenes and what they do and how they started. But hopefully you get a chance to go see Paso Robles, or you've been there before in your life, and it's a really beautiful place. And we do this program every 2 weeks, and I know Emmanuel does a lot of great research ahead of time to pick these great wines. So I'm looking forward to 2 weeks from now, but I want to thank you, Emmanuel, for everything you've done for this program. This is great. Double Black.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Double Black.
And I just wanted to say, sorry, I didn't want to take away from your closing.
I'm done.
Okay. So yeah, we'll start on the white wines. Well, maybe we can get into rosés next time, because it'll be a couple weeks out. We're here in spring, so we might as well, maybe we'll just stick to the white wine.
Yeah, let's do the rosés, and then just to give everyone an advance notice, if anybody who joins us for this recorded down the road, we are going to do a boxed wine special, and I'm going to do. I sent
you the wine that I had thought. I was thinking about.
Right? The Ropeteau.
Yeah, the Ropeteau. You got it. It's a good little French wine.
It is. We've had Ropeteau before.
It's new. It's new format. It just came in. The box wine, new format.
That's right. So we're gonna focus on box wine because it will be summer. I will be having a party, so at least I will not have 2 big box wines sitting in my fridge for me to drink by myself. So we are going to have that kind of special. We're going to focus. Well, we're going to use Ropeteau, and then Emmanuel's going to find another decent wine, and we're going to try them.
Might be tough. It might be tough. I might have to really uncover some things,
Well, it seems like things have improved in terms of quality, and then canned wines are around now, and I don't like. I rather like the portion control of the bottle versus drinking like a 16-ounce thing of wine, but it's a little dangerous. But again, box wine's dangerous too because there's really no portion control either. So
yeah, that's true.
So thank you everyone for joining us. This will be on Instagram Live and YouTube channel for you to look at later on. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. And I always say, eat, drink, savor, and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you.